Hello and welcome to Winter Grace Senior Ministries. I am Debbie Bergio. Aging gracefully is something I think most of us would like to do, and sometimes we may think that is a challenge. Fortunately, I am joined today by Beth Gleason, the half hippie mama, who is going to be sharing with us her secrets and advice for aging gracefully, naturally. Beth, thank you so much for joining us.
You're very welcome, Debbie. Thank you for asking me.
Oh, my pleasure. Please tell us, how did you become involved in a more natural way of living?
Well, we have 4 children, and we had a child who was having tantrums and other things, and we found out after much investigation that much of it was due to his reaction to certain foods, primarily foods that are processed with artificial dyes and preservatives. Upon investigation, I found that these products, artificial dyes, artificial flavorings, many preservatives, are made from petroleum products. So it made sense that his body was not able to process these items. And as we removed these things from his diet, we found out we also needed to remove them from his toiletries, our cleaning products. We needed a more natural lifestyle because they impacted his body, and in doing this for him, we found out that they impacted all of us, and that things that we thought were just moods or grumpiness often were reactions to things that we had in our home. I call myself the half hippie mama because we still do convenience foods, we do processed foods, we just do cleaner ones. And as time has gone on, I've done more and more whole foods, more and more organic foods, but I'm not perfect, and it's a process. I feel like no one can go all in from the start if they're had one lifestyle to move completely to a natural lifestyle. And so I just wanted to tell people that every little bit that you do can help and move you to better behavior and less frustration on the part of yourself and people around you.
Absolutely. So we are talking about your children, of course, and you, but this is an older adult ministry fair. So I know you have experience caring for an older adult loved one. I was wondering if you could share a little bit about that and how the natural way approach has impacted that experience.
Okay, so we moved my mother in her later years to 6 houses away from us. She had been in her own home, and we just moved her to a new home. She was in a home where neither me nor my sister could get to her in less than 20 minutes. And she fell in her early 90s and needed caregivers, which we had, but there were still times when you need family members, even when you have caregivers. And so we looked for houses around my sister and around me and found one near me. And so I became the primary family member taking care of her. Shortly before we moved her, my sister also tripped and broke her leg, and she was referred to a massage therapist from her pain management doctor, who the massage therapist used many products from Young Living, which is what mainly I'm going to talk about today. And so my sister was very familiar with Young Living and had found great success with Young Living, even though she wasn't introduced to it through me. And once my mom was near me, we used more and more products from Young Living because we found them a better fit for her. And we liked the fact that they were natural and came from nature, that they didn't have additives, that they didn't have artificial ingredients in them. And so that's sort of my experience with caring for seniors. Now, me and my husband now fit into seniors. So much of what I'm going to be talking about is what we do for our own health, because we are now seniors.
I just don't believe that, but we'll talk about that another time.
So one of the reasons why I chose Young Living was because I had heard good things about oils. I had heard that they can help support your health. And I do want to say that I'm not a doctor, that I'm not giving medical advice. I'm just sharing what we've learned on our journey. And I don't, I'm not recommending anything that I suggest can help your health today. Means help support your health. If you're on prescriptions from your doctor, I'm not saying take this supplement instead of your prescription. You should always continue prescriptions from your doctor. But one of the reasons why we did this goes back to my son, is we started using Young Living oils instead of over-the-counter medications to try and help with situations that arose, because so many over-the-counter medications have artificial ingredients in them. And even prescriptions, you get antibiotics for kids and they're flavored bubble gum and they have red dye in them, which is a disaster for my youngest. And pretty much for my youngest son, my middle son too, but he doesn't want to admit it. So we just moved towards more natural. That's not to say that we don't go to the doctor. We do go to the doctor. I'm not totally against allopathic medicine, but we try to find more natural solutions first. And I tried and investigated different oil companies and got bottles from several, and found that I found the most impact with the oils from Young Living. They have, well, I'll go into that in just a minute, but that was how I chose Young Living.
So I know you started out with the oils, but that's kind of taken a little bit of a journey also.
The oils have taken more of a backseat now. I'm not saying we don't use oils. I have plenty of bottles of oils, probably hundreds, but in our everyday life, we're focused on the supplements from Young Living. And that's where most of my focus today will be from the supplements, because we've found them to be beneficial for us. So
I was at my desk for hours. I'm sorry. What? I was at my desk for hours and hours yesterday, and my neck is so tight. So I had my roller bottle here of Deep Relief, and it allowed me to work for longer, and I feel fine. So very thankful.
So that's good.
Yes, very good.
So I'll go ahead and share my screen, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Of some slides that I've created. I think this will do it. Oops, we're not at the beginning. There we go. Hold on. We're still not at the beginning. Just a second. I'm so sorry.
That's quite all right. And I will tell you, in this year of Zooms, I don't think I have seen one screen share that has been seamless, honestly. So not to worry.
There we go.
And then you need to click on that, press it. Yeah, there we go.
So talking about Young Living and Seed to Seal, this is part of the reason why I started with them, is because of their Seed to Seal promise. They examine their seeds before they plant them, and they only plant the best seeds. Their farms are either owned by them, or in countries where they can't own land, they're managed by them. And they take care of them all the way along. They hand weed. They don't use pesticides. They don't even use mechanical vehicles near the farms because they don't want the exhaust from the mechanical vehicles to be taken in by the plants.
Wow.
It's one of the reasons why they are more expensive than what you will find in the grocery store, but it's also one of the reasons why when you smell them, they smell much stronger. Mm-hmm. They also only do what's called the first distillation. Some of the ones that you find elsewhere may be the second, third, or even fourth distillation. That means that they only use the oil that they extract at the first time when the plants are put through the process. They also do not use chemicals to help extract the oils. They don't use high temperature to extract the oils. They baby their plants all the way around. And that's the seed to seal promise from Young Living. One of the first things I want to talk about for supporting our seniors is stress, sleep, and sadness. I was talking to Debbie about last night. For some reason, I had trouble sleeping. And I figured out this morning why I didn't sleep that well last night. And that's mainly because I didn't turn our diffuser on. And I usually put Peace and Calming and Dream Catcher in our diffuser, and I didn't have it going last night. Now this picture shows 2 diffusers. I only use 1. But seniors often have what's called a mid-afternoon slump, especially as they get older. It's also known as, okay, now I'm blanking.
Sundowners.
Sundowners syndrome. Oh my gosh, totally blanked on what it was called. It was a term that I'd never heard before before helping to take care of my mom. And this was a time of the day when she would become agitated. She would remember things that had never happened that were stressful to her. An example would be that she had a twin brother that she said never to call him again, because he didn't want to talk to her. And he had not said that. And in fact, his sons called me and asked me why my mom wasn't calling him. And that was the reason why.
Oh my goodness.
So we hadn't heard the story. We didn't know until this all came out. But we found that diffusing lavender, although we put it directly on her at times, we often would diffuse lavender and bergamot, and those seemed to calm her down the most when she would get agitated on days when she was having strong feelings of sundowner syndrome. I mentioned Peace and Calming. My husband and I use that in our diffuser at night. Vetiver is something that I actually use on my youngest son to help calm him down and to help with anxiety and agitation. Stress Away is something that I use myself all the time. It's a lovely mix of vanilla and lime, and I just love the smell of it. So in the late evening, it's good to get off your phone, to turn off the television, to reduce electronics. You can have a cup of tea with some lemon vitality added to it, take a calm bath with Epsom salts and lavender. And this slide says do light stretches to ease tension in your tired muscles. My mother was very active during most of her life. After she broke her leg, she wasn't as active, but she would do laps around the house with her walker every morning and afternoon. Evening after dinner. So you might, she was a little confused at certain points, and she would count as she did her laps, and sometimes she would be on lap 4, and instead of going from 3 to 4, she'd go from 3 to 2. And my sister and I would always say, yes, that's right, Mom, you're on too, to get her to do a little bit more. But I know Debbie has a lot of exercise people scheduled for this resource fair. It's very important to stay as active as you are capable of. It's shown to help with depression and other things. So the more activity you can get into your day, the better off that you're going to be. There's one supplement called Sleep Essence, which has 3 grams of 3 milligrams of melatonin in it. I use Rutavala on my toes, which is a roll-on. The reason why I use it on my big toe is because valerian is in there and it sort of smells, so I try to keep it as far away from my nose and my husband's nose as possible. And then I mentioned that Dreamcatcher is one that we diffuse along with Peace and Calming. Tranquil, I tend to use not right at bed, but more in the wind down period. And Roman chamomile is actually something that I use during the day if there's any negativity going on. It's a good emotional support oil.
Oh, great.
So as I mentioned, supplements are one of the things that we've moved more towards, and that is because of their bioavailability. They're made from natural products, they're not synthetic, and they have a greater absorption rate. Even though they may be more expensive than what you get over the counter, even taking them every other day is going to be more effective than what you're getting over the counter. They do have essential oils in them, which helps with their absorption rate. And we have found them to be more effective for what we're doing than what we had been doing. These are some of the basics that people take. Sulfurzyme helps to support your liver, circulatory, immune system. It also helps to support your cartilage system and your collagen. I take it, you can get it in capsules or powder. I put it in a drink that I'll talk about later every afternoon, and my nails are growing faster, they're stronger, my hair is growing faster, which means I need to go to the hairdresser more often, and I'm sort of putting it off, but I just feel like it's helping to support my body more. MSM stands for a really long name that I never can remember, but my husband went to a chiropractor over the summer because he had pulled something in his back, and his chiropractor suggested looking for some supplements with some specific ingredients, and MSM was one of them. So at a later appointment, we brought this in, and he said, yes, that'd be a good thing for my husband to be taking, and that he's been taking it since then. Omegagize has the fatty acids that you need, and as well as CoQ10, which is great for brain health as well as heart health. And this is one thing that I take every day as my fatty acid supplement for my brain. Life 9 is a probiotic, and it's something that is recommended that you take when you're not using oils. I've heard that oils can interfere with probiotics. I don't know if that's science or just a rumor going around. I can't remember exactly where I read it, but I take it an hour after dinner. Well, more like 2 hours after dinner and an hour before bedtime, because we diffuse oils at night. So I sort of want it in my system before we start diffusing our oils. But you want to take it on an empty stomach. Master Formula is a packet of vitamins, and this is what my husband takes every morning. It helps to support almost every system of your body, and that's the reason why he takes it. Instead of the multivitamin that he was taking, he was also taking some additional vitamins of B, C, and everything. And lots of this for us has been a learning process. We start with one thing and then we learn about another and we sort of transition. So it's not something where you can just do it perfectly right from the beginning. Back to my half hippie mama. It's a process. So 2 more supplements. One that I take is Mindwise to help support my mental activity, my brain activity. I need it more because I keep on forgetting to take it. So, but I do find that on the days when I remember to take it, I just seem to have more clarity, and that it really seems to help me figure out, not be as muddled. You can tell I didn't take it this morning. I couldn't remember sundowners syndrome. It also has turmeric in it, which can help with inflammation as well as support your bone and joint system. Cardiogize helps to support your circulatory system and your heart system. And that is, again, has CoQ10, natural folic acid, not synthetic folic acid, and K2, which are all have been scientifically proven to support your circulatory system, your cardiovascular system. Now, we talked about movement before. Sometimes you overdo. Agile Ease also has turmeric in it, and I have had for years upon years a shoulder problem. If I feel a bit of a tinge, I'll take Agile Ease. I don't take it every day because I don't have pain all the time, but that is what I take whenever I feel a twinge, and I haven't had to go back in for shots in years. Cool Azul pain cream can help with minor muscle aches and joint aches. I sort of, once I fell back asleep in the middle of the night, I sort of just stayed in one position apparently because my neck was sort of tight this morning. And I just put a little bit of Cool Azul pain cream to kind of loosen it up. And I have that on right now. BLM supports the bones and ligaments and muscles, and that's another supplement that we took to the chiropractor that we thought met some of the things that he suggested that my husband take, and so he's also taking that. He's taking Sulfurzyme and the BLM on the suggestion of his chiropractor. Finally, this is, instead of Master Formula, this is what I take, is Ninja Red. And there's some reasons why I take Ninja Red. Primarily because my kid's eye doctor saw a packet of it in my purse when I was getting some things out one day. And she knows that I have a history of macular degeneration in my family. I have wet macular degeneration on my mother's side and dry on my father's side. If you don't know, macular degeneration destroys the retina, and you lose more and more of your vision as the disease progresses. And 2 of the supplements that they suggest you take are lutein and zeaxanthin. And my kid's eye doctor said that those were those two supplements had greater quantities in Ninja Red than any other supplement she had seen over the counter. And she strongly suggested that I take it. Now, for those of you who don't have macular degeneration in your health history, why should you take it? Well, it's rich in antioxidants. I looked up some statistics on what it has in it, what it is equivalent to. Well, first of all, what does it have in it? It has the wolfberry in it, which is known to have about 2.5 times the antioxidants of any other fruit on the planet. But it also has plum, aronia, which I don't know what that is, cherry, blueberry, and pomegranate juices in it, as well as some essential oils of vanilla extract, lemon, orange, yuzu, and tangerine. And all those essential oils and all those fruits combined together have a synergistic effect, which means that together they do more than separately.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result, 1 ounce of Ninja Red, and they recommend you take 2 ounces a day. You can get them in bottles or packets, but 1 ounce is the equivalent of 55 pounds of almonds, 93 apples, 100 oranges, 34 onions, 10 pounds of spinach, 3 pounds of broccoli, 3 pints of strawberries, 4 pints of blueberries, and 22 medium carrots.
Wow.
Now, who can eat that much in one day? You would spend your entire day doing nothing other than eating. Now, why do you want antioxidants? This was actually a drink. My mom had been on an antioxidant drink by her doctor, and my sister and I switched her over to this one. And her doctor had a little machine where you could put your hand in and it would read your antioxidant level, your antioxidant level. And hers went up on this drink. And he was very happy with her levels on this. But why do you want antioxidants? Well, your body has something called free radicals. And your body produces free radicals in normal digestion. Why does your body produce free radicals? Well, free radicals help fight infection. They support your immune system. Well, why would you want antioxidants to fight free radicals if they're good for you? Well, they are good for you to a certain level, but you need a balance. And when you have too many free radicals, it does something called oxidative stress to your body. Mm-hmm. And that helps to promote disease rather than supporting your immune system. So it's all about balance, and having antioxidants and a diet rich in antioxidants helps to keep your body in balance, helps support your immune system, and helps just with your general health. So that is why I'm a fan of Ninja Red. Now, I take more than 2 ounces a day. I take 2 in the morning, and in the afternoon, I put it in with some mineral water, and then I also add the Sulfurzyme. And the reason why I'm taking 4 ounces is because I've heard that it helps with cravings of, bad things, sugar. And I have found that when I'm consistent in taking 4 ounces a day, indeed, my cravings go down, and I don't have the late night munchies that I have when I'm not doing 4 ounces. I think it's because my body is receiving the nutrition that it needs. Mm-hmm. You can also, in the afternoon, add a drop of Vitality Peppermint and Vitality Black Pepper, which have been certified as okay by the FDA for consumption. And it can help kind of rev things up. So that's kind of, they're making a fruit drink and then going to add some Ninja Red into it. But I don't mix it with things. I don't mix it with fruit, I guess is what I'm saying, in the way I take it. But you can add it to all sorts of things to change things up. So that's sort of my story. of more natural living and how we've supported our health now, how we were supporting my mother's health. And if you're interested in more, you can go to this website or contact me. Debbie will have this underneath, or find me at the Half Hippie Momma, which is a private group where I share nutritional information and things that help support your health. Thank you so much, Debbie. I appreciate this opportunity to join and share my knowledge that I've learned just as a mom and a daughter.
Oh, Beth, thank you so much for sharing all about Young Living. Like I said, I have my deep relief and I have my stress relief, my stress away rather, which I was using over the weekend. And so I'm just really glad that you were able to be here and share with everyone.
You're welcome.
Take care.
It was my pleasure.
Oh, good. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.